Welcome to the second episode of YGTV. YGTV! I'm your host, Roy III. This episode, we'll be conducting an interview with Rob Mathisen. He's actually a former bass player of my band, Oratox Intro, and he'll be presenting a book called How I Became Human, and it features poems and songs written by him over the years. We'll be interviewing Rob Mathisen for the most portion of this second episode. I guess we'll go ahead and just start out with that. YGTV! Well, this is Rob Mathisen. Robert Mathisen.
So either I don't remember or I haven't decided to be Robert Mathisen or Rob Mathisen. Probably Robert, I guess. But I don't know. I'm not really Robert. I'm Rob. Don't ever call me Robert. Really don't. Come on over to my place and I'll show you my poo rash. Sometimes when I'm all by myself and nobody else around, I go into my kitchen and take my pants off, sit down on the linoleum floor, take a poop. And when it come out, it's gonna come out in a pyramid shape. So, son of a bitch.
You put together a book collection of a bunch of poetry, or?
I'm kind of spacing out. But yeah, I'm pretty excited about it. It's almost done, but I've been through a lot, and I'm hoping that getting it out there, I can help people who've gone down similar roads not to go a different way.
And what's the name of the book?
How I Became Human.
Word.
This is my first organized venture into it. I used to write fiction when I was in school. Instead of doing my schoolwork, I'd write stories and stuff about it was mostly horror.
How big is your book?
I can't say exactly how many pages it's going to be, but I can guess. And I'm guessing based on how many pages it is in the software that I have it written in, it's going to be right around 150 to 170 pages. Yeah. It is put together chronologically, in a manner of speaking, and there's a lot of underlying things in it that, if you notice and you wonder if they were put there on purpose or not, they were, more likely than not. I'm weird like that. Maybe. During writing a lot of the stuff that I was writing, it was me kind of being there for myself at a time when no one else was, and advising myself on what to do with, whatever problems I was facing, how to react, how to best pull myself through it, And a lot of times I found myself scaring myself with some of the things that I'd be writing. I definitely think that there are people who are going to appreciate it. And then there are going to be people that aren't going to not get it at all, and I wrote this for anyone who identified it. But go ahead.
Or do you have any copy of something that you can share with us?
I do. This is called The Mirror. It's one of my favorite things I've ever written. It was actually inspired by a story written by H.P. Lovecraft that struck a chord with me in a way that most people would probably not expect it to. But anyways, yeah, this is called The Mirror. I don't know who or what I am, and don't know where I come from. I know no love, nor joy or sky, no naught but this, my kingdom. I've never seen myself before, for here there is no mirror. This place I have grown to abhor from overwhelming drear. I know nothing of the human race, not likeness, scale, nor figure, and all the images I have to place from books with colored pictures. In weathered and wretched halls of dank and must I wander, glimpsing webs of dust. Now there stirs inside a fearful lust, how I long for beauty, love, and trust. Trees shoot up to choke the stars. Alone I sit and think and dream. These memories, all painful scars. The lone shall never think to scream. Only one lowly tower pierces the veil. With such improper footing I move like a snail. In a desperate effort, and to little avail, I shudder to see the distance travailed. I dreamt of the wonders I hoped to soon see, scaling this wall, inching toward my release. An unnamable fear now overwhelming me, yet still I press on, for I must find my peace. I shrink at the thought of beholding my progress. The scale of my climb could well end my duress, and I've come too far not to see my success. Have I reached the top? I think I must digress. As I stepped up into an observatory, I stumbled blindly through darkness, trying ceaselessly to escape purgatory. To succumb is for only the heartless. When at last I did find and pry open the door, I saw the first of many a surprise in store. For the first I saw of such a natural decor, the glimmering moon in all its splendor. Though I thought I had bested this mountain invested, my thoughts soon were tested, for atop I had not rested. But up the steps I did fly underneath the moon's glow, till a cloud in the sky forced the moonlight to go. When the moonlight returned to show the first of many terrors, there was a shocking lesson learned, and I stared aghast at my great error. For I was not above the ground, instead quite far beneath it, and this revelation did astound so much I cannot speak it. So here atop my sunken palace, as the darkness subsides, I'm looking through a wooden lattice to a strange new world outside. I know I've come too far to let myself be so alarmed, so I crawl my way through to a world of unfamiliar charm. I traveled on, and on I went, for upon this quest I was now bent to see the sights and smell the scents, and from this course could not relent. I came upon a well-lit castle in which I hoped others dwell. From outside I heard laughter, I thought I'd escaped my hell. When at last I found my quarry, I could hold myself no more. I would have been much more wary had I known what was in store. Through the window in I went, just to join those who I'd spent so long needing. I never meant to be a burden or a transient. And upon my arrival, with screams of fear, there was upheaval, and they fled from here. As if fleeing death's grip, people stumbled and tripped, but collected one another, and out the door they slipped. Then I felt a horrid presence like a terror from beyond. Vanished was my pleasance, of this place I was not fond. Across the way I saw a sight. It filled me with the deepest fright. Fearing this is my last night, I locked eyes with a grotesque white. I feel myself moving toward it. I think to myself, just ignore it. As I see myself reaching for it, I knew soon I'd be paying for it. And as my hand contacts its claw, I leak a surprised gasp. It all makes sense. I dropped my jaw. I stare at polished glass. The end.
That was The Mirror by Robert That was The Mirror by Rob Mathisen.
George Bedroom is sleeping on my... Nothing to do with my book. But that's okay, because I'm saying it. When I originally set out to write that, it was meant to be a tribute to H.P. Lovecraft, because I love horror, and he's the father of it. It's the most up for interpretation. It's the most generally meaningful. Most of my stuff is very specific, very vague, and touching on a lot of points, and not really generally very guided to one specific subject. You could almost call them rants, but that one, I think, is the best example of art I think that I've ever seen come out of my own hands.
Or where is the first location you intend to?
No, you might have to get a hold of me. At TALEXEC@hotmail.com and ask about it. Or you can ask Roy about it. He'll know. Some might suck.
You heard it here on YGTV. I had to. I'm sorry.
I was waiting for it. I was waiting for it.
So this concludes the interview with Rob Mathisen.
Come on over to my place and I'll show you my poo rags.
And this concludes the second episode of YGTV. YGTV! We hope that you enjoyed the show. You can check us out on YouTube. Go to YouTube, Mr. Roy3. Or another way that you can contact us, of course, is Facebook at Roy the Third, The Project, City Star. Hope to see you next time. Thanks again. Punamaga!
Come on over to my place, and I'll show you my poop rash. Sometimes when I'm all by myself, I like to go into my kitchen and take my pants off and sit down on the linoleum floor and take a poop. When they come out, they're gonna come out in a pyramid shape.